So we're gonna get started. My name's Jordan Mayorga,
I'm Jacob Richley.
Brian Ricavna.
and we did the Ultimate Flying Battlecraft. So this is just basically what it looks like. To start off, we did a lot of concept generation. As you can see, like the hovering disc was kind of like one of the things for us. We did a hovercraft one. Another one was the shooter. As you can see, we have that on ours. And then the last one was basically like a blimp. And so we used those four main concepts to kind of generate our final product.
And the framework and design of it all, these are pretty much our SLA parts. It was to generate the shape of the craft and create enough space so that we could get all our electrical components in. And it looked a lot better before we had to this morning get everything, rewire everything using 9-volt batteries instead of a battery pack, which Jacob will explain what exactly happened in a little bit. But so we had the framework of we basically made a lot of the pieces are identical on top and bottom, but to create the shape, and then the base part of it is just foam board with two metal shafts down it that have motors and fans in them to create the lift. And the original motors generated plenty of lift, but as we burned those out because of the battery pack, we had to use some motors just to demo, but it did generate plenty of lift yesterday.
So then we did some SLA modeling. As you can see, like we had to do a 10 by 10 inch and had a 3-inch constraint on the height. And this is just a few little pictures, different views, but basically how we absorbed our parts and maintained in the proper constraints for our SLA modeling.
So the assembly, this is actually a heavy-duty freezer wrap on the outside of it to provide a paper outside so that we could mount it on the frame of the SLA and then assemble it. And it took a couple hours for me to figure out how to mount all the paper on to make it look a smooth finish. And then I painted it with the blue spray paint, but the black is acrylic. And then I used electrical tape to give it a nice pinstripe going through.
Hi. This is the final assembly model we have. As you can see, this is the isometric view. We placed two fans, the lift fan in the center so it can generate lift. And there are two forwarding fans on the back, so it will push the craft like moving forward. This is the top view. You can see where the fan located at. And next, please. And this is the left view. You can see the digit board is inside of the craft. And this is the back view. You can see the gun is located in the center. And this is the front wheel. And next. And next, here's a video that shows the craft is like a flying, like how it works. Like all the blades is rotating and the bullet is shot out. Yeah.
All right. This is our final assembly put together. It hasn't really changed much since the CAD modeling. You can see all the fans, where they're located, where the gun's at. Everything's painted up, all nice and pretty. The biggest thing I want to talk about, though, is the electrical system and the idea behind all of that. We were planning on having the Arduino control everything, motors controlled through PWM, that sort of thing, to have everything moving, and most of that worked great. The problem was, though, we had this issue with our battery. We went with a lithium polymer battery, which apparently is a little finicky. Unlike regular batteries, you have to have some sort of electrical protection system that I guess we didn't quite realize needed to be there. It was one of those things we kind of found out here last minute. So we wound up having to work with other batteries here at the last minute, and we haven't been able to get everything quite up in the air the way we'd like to. So I think that's about it. I think we're going to do a demo here of everything turning over. It won't lift, but we should be able to see everything move. Everything's moving over. I don't know if you can see too well.
And our battery is up 9 volts. This was the reason we went with a larger. This was the reason we went with a larger battery, was because of the 9 volts are already pretty well drained and going down after just a few seconds and a little preliminary testing this morning to see if this would actually work. But everything does turn over and it works fine, except the original motors were stronger than the ones that we did, so it doesn't generate lift. But it is a viable project given a little more time to figure out the wiring systems behind it and the protective circuits that need to go in to protect your electrical components, as we did manage to burn out the Adreno board, 3 motors, and a few things very last minute. About 9 o'clock last night, we had a little bit of smoke coming from the project, so that was not a good sign. But we managed to get everything semi-functional, and if we had opportunities to get more, it would work better.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay.